All right, bet. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it, baby. Yo, Haven, what's good? It is my intention I always love you guys. You are having a wonderful, magnificent rotation and a wonderful, magnificent mood. And if you are not, hopefully you will be by the end of this presentation. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. And yeah, everything you see on this channel is merely speculation, view discussions of ours. Please do your own homework and research for proper discernment. Remember, we watch these clips as a form of escaping the external chaos going on outside of ourselves, as we are all experiencing our own individual realities. You know what I'm saying? If it don't resonate with you, leave it on the ground for someone else to pick it up. That's okay if it does not resonate with you. You choosing to be here, you don't gotta be. I'm highly grateful, and thankful for all you guys who've been here from the beginning, rocking out, liking, commenting, sharing, been subscribed. You know what's up, doing this energetic exchange that we do on a regular. You know what I mean? I'm deeply, deeply grateful for your presence. Pardon. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so be notified when we go up. Anyone and everyone who has ever sown to see with me, it will be returned 100-fold as the Most High using you as a divine vessel to divinely support yours truly, because it's all about divine support. I just want to say grace, gratitude, and thanks, peace, and prosperity you and yours. Hope you know it never goes unnoticed, but it does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. Yeah, I mean that, by the way. I mean that. Anyhow, Haven, listen, I'm feeling great internally. I made me a little salad. Feel me? Some boiled chickpeas. I sliced up 2 cucumbers. And maybe 3 handful of cherry tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2-3 handfuls of cherry tomatoes. So I had a cucumber tomato salad with chickpeas, mixed it all up with the razzle dazzle. Oh, it was lovely. So that's where my energy is at. I had 2 tangerines with it after, some water. I got more water right here. That's ice cold. I'm feeling good internally. However, I was not going to go up this rotation. I really wasn't. I was going to take some time to chill, relax. I went outside, did some nature work, sun gazing, grounding. Yeah. So internally, I feel amazing. You know, externally, I'm still over it. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, the reason why I don't have my headset on is because I thoroughly rinsed my hair. You know, I haven't got it done. I need to get a retwist immediately, but I thoroughly rinsed my hair. It's still a little damp. And yeah, we gotta, you feel me? We gotta make it work. We gotta make it work until it does work. So with that being said, that's what's going on with me. I'm in a wonderful, magnificent mood. Hopefully my energy is emanating so brightly and strongly that it will reflect onto you. Anyhow, as I said, I wasn't going to go up, but I decided to anyway. So let's roll the tape, baby. Let's get into it. Welcome in, welcome in. Rather you watching now, rather you watching later. Welcome in, welcome in. I am grateful for your presence. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby.
So I see out here.
Whoa. That's not what we watching. What was that? What was that? That's not what we watching, y'all. Hold on. That was crazy. Hold on. I don't know what that was, but let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, I ain't say it, so let's say it right now. Buckle up. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the vibe, baby. Let's get it. I think this one is a little too raw and uncut for the people. And when I say the people, I'm talking about the oppressors. They might not like what we watching. They might not like what's being said, people. So please, if they shut us down and y'all don't see me for a minute, you know why. However, we gonna roll the tape and do what we do and push for the best. We're not gonna hope for the best. We're gonna push for the best. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Shall we use that for eating baby's blood? We sacrifice the baby, we section the baby. When we're done, the baby skulls.
From before?
Yeah, from before. We put it on.
Where did the baby skulls come from?
I don't know.
They come from the baby.
How would you get them from the baby?
We cut the baby's head off. Then we peel the meat from the skulls. And then we put all the meat and cook it. Sometimes we roast it. Sometimes we roast it in the oven. Sometimes we cook it on a frying pan.
You told me there's some restaurants
Yeah, and there's some restaurants, and there's McDonald's in Hampstead, and East Finchley. And East Finchley is a swimming pool, and in East Finchley there's a swimming pool, and the whole East Finchley does it. The boss does it. Everybody does it.
That's what?
The sex, eating baby, and there's McDonald's in there, and they're also involved, and there's Starbucks inside, and they're also involved in the sweets shop in there.
Well, no, don't rush.
And the
You
sweet-
say McDonald's in Hampstead and Finchley,
Yeah.
East Finchley.
Yes.
And you said Starbucks where? Which Starbucks?
Starbucks in Hampstead and
What is he even? Does he have memories from a past life? Like what's the context behind this video? I don't know, but it's a bit a lot. It's not a bit, it's a lot. It's a whole lot on that video. My hands is up, Haven. Speculation and entertainment, YouTube. You know what's up, Haven. Let's keep going though. They might not like what we watching and presenting this rotation.
Leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls.
Man.
So the Jews can screw America. That's
Man.
what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country. And our FBI is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. The Justice Department is corrupt. The news media is corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. Because we've walked away from Almighty God and we've allowed Kabbalah practicing Jews to defile the nation. Put that video out. Go ahead and clip this video and send it out. I dare you. You won't do it because you're scared that the truth may get out to the American people. I'm had it up to here with the corruption in this country. Little children.
That's it? Just up here? He had it up to here. He had it up to here, y'all. But we had it up to here. It's through the ceiling. We've been over it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on, man?
Children being raped for the benefit of Israel. That's all it's about, Doc. Little American children being raped for the benefit of Israel. American politicians raping little American girls to be videotaped by Israeli Mossad so that Israel can blackmail American politicians. That's the state of America today. God
Disgusting.
ought to destroy this country for what we've become.
Did you fucking know that your entire self-worth was programmed into you by the time that you were 7?
We talk about it all the time on the Haven. Age 0 to 7 is a download to the conscious. Subconsciously downloading something to the conscious mind from the subconscious mind as you're going through this integration from spirit into the fleshly from 0 to 7. Do you follow? Because we talk about it all the time. Pardon off, my energy is high. I told y'all I had a wonderful cucumber tomato salad. I went outside and consumed some of the electromagnetic energy from the atmosphere, from the planet, because there's a huge coronal hole in the sun emanating energy onto the... Come on, y'all. So pardon off, my energy is too high. But we vibrate at a high frequency. Isn't that what we all about? Let's get it.
Like, yeah, let's talk about that shit. Because if you're running around here feeling like you're not good enough, you have to earn love, or that you're just too much to fucking exist, that shit, it wasn't your fucking fault. You were literally just running around like a tiny, clueless little human being, absorbing everybody else's shit around you.
Facts.
And never once was your brain like fact-checking that motherfucking shit. Like, never once was it like, is this really true about myself? Is this really a thing that I think and feel is accurately truthful about myself? No, that bitch just went with that programming. Is like, this is what we're doing now. So let's talk about what kind of programming we're actually talking about. Did you fucking know that if your caregivers only loved you when you were being good, that your brain decided that the only way to earn love was by being fucking perfect? Did you fucking know that if your parents ignored your feelings or told you to suck it up, that you learn that having emotions is weak, and that's why you bottle shit up until you completely fucking explode. Did you fucking know that the reason why you have trouble saying no is because your boundaries weren't accepted when you were a kid? You learned that other people's comfort was more important than your own. If your parents stressed about money when you were a kid, your brain is literally running a program that tells you success is hard. And that's why you sabotage your own abundance. Did you fucking know that negative self-talk is just a reflection of how people talk to you when you were a kid? If you were shamed, criticized, or bullied, guess what? Your inner monologue still sounds like that. Did you know that if you're the strong one in your family, your brain literally fucking panics when it thinks about asking for help? Your brain feels like the only way to survive is by doing it alone. Do you see the fucking problem here? We're all walking around thinking that this shit's like personality traits, when really it's just survival mechanisms from a tiny version of us that didn't know any fucking better. This shit is wild because it's all fucking real. And reparenting yourself is gonna feel like rewriting the fucking code. Yeah, just like your brain absorbed all that garbage, it can rewrite all that fucking garbage. It's literally like computer code. We can reprogram it. That's why affirmations, positive self-talk, and rewiring your nervous system actually fucking works. That's why healing feels like you're fighting against every fucking thing you were taught. Because you literally are. Like, you are. So if nobody ever fucking told you, it's not your fucking fault. But it is your responsibility to fix it. And that's what I'm here for. So stick around. We're going to unlearn this bullshit together.
People get uncomfortable.
Hey, man. Yo, she hit the nail on the head. Right or wrong, no? You know what I'm saying? She hit it right on the head right there. Let's get it, Haven.
When you like yourself more than they feel like you should. When you're not ashamed of what they think you should be ashamed of. When you live your life according to your own taste and your own interests instead of what's trending or popular. Being around authentic energy triggers a lot of people. It makes them feel less than, because the truth is so many are pretending to be someone that they're not, that they assume you're pretending to. It triggers cognitive dissonance when they realize that you're actually about that life. I'm not this way by magic. I like myself. I'm all that I got. So I don't compare myself to others unless they're comparing themselves to me. And even
facts that. Let's hear that again, because facts that. Facts that.
When they realize that you're actually about that life. I'm not this way by magic. I like myself. I'm all that I got. So I don't compare myself to others unless they're comparing themselves to me. And even then, I'm still the winner. I don't understand how regular ass people can compare themselves to other regular ass people. We are not in high school. Life is whipping us all. So if you choose to spend your life appeasing other people, that's fine. No skin off my back. But don't act like there's something wrong with me because I do my own thing. Let that be a lesson. To you, it's just who you are. You're regular. You're humble. But to others, your energy, it might be bright and powerful. That throws people off. For people who are not used to vibrating that high, you're a problem.
Certain people on this planet were born with the gift of being able to do anything in a short amount of time, and this gift is called being the jack of all trades. People notice that you don't even think the same as the average individual. You think outside of this dimension, which means you're able to pick up on energies that the average person cannot perceive. This is the reason why you pick up a new task and it feels like you've done it before or you already know how to do it, because subconsciously your mind is receiving downloads from universal energies through your crown chakra to allow you to remember how to do these things that you think you don't already know. And that is where the jack of all trades masters reality, because while one person is focused on becoming a master at one task, you can pick up anything you like and in a short amount of time become one of the best in that field and really elevate amongst your peers. And don't think for a second that individuals are not able to perceive this gift that you have, because subconsciously you will have niggas that do not like you because they see that you are literally good at everything. Don't let anybody tell you you're not special. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not tapped in. Don't let anyone try to convince you that these phenomena are not real and we are existing within a false sense of reality, because those same individuals have never experienced any type of spiritual phenomenon, so their souls are not awakened to the truth and what is actually taking.
That's crazy, because I was just having a conversation with somebody about things along the lines of this. First and foremost, the person told me, yo, bro, you a person, when you put your mind on something, you just get it done. Like, yo, I'm about to do this, I'm about to lock it in, and you get it done, you feel me? Then on top of that, I was explaining how I don't associate with a lot of people anymore because, you know, when you explaining certain things to them and you sharing your experiences with them, they agree with you and go along with you and listen. But behind your back, they slander you and this and that, XYZ, things of that nature. And it's like, how can you tell an adult something that they actually went through when we are well aware of what we are going through or experiencing? That's like you, for the people that's watching. If you see something strange or, you know, above the norm, and you explain this to someone like, yo, I actually literally saw this, I witnessed it, experienced it, you know, the people outside of you is gonna be like, bro, are you okay? You good? Yo, bro or sis tripping, yo. Like, bro or sis is tripping. Like, is they good? You know what I'm saying? But how can you really say that just because you didn't experience it? Because you're not aligning with the energies, the frequencies of the planetary alignments and planetary shifts and things of that nature. Anyhow, let's keep going. It's crazy. Let's go back a little bit and hear that again.
Not special. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not tapped in. Don't let anyone try to convince you that these phenomena are not real and we are existing within a false sense of reality, because those same individuals have never experienced any type of spiritual phenomenon, so their souls are not awakened to the truth and what is actually taking place.
The only way out is in. You gotta lose your mind to get it. That's part of the truth. If you scared of losing your mind, you ain't never gonna find yourself. The crazy people got the answers. Stop letting people convince you that your gifts are disabilities. Baby, that ain't no disability. You can hear voices because you can hear the fifth dimension. Stop letting people talk you out of your gifts. You need to be grounded in your gifts so they don't make you go crazy. You're not crazy. You can make yourself go crazy because you keep taking on what other people telling you. Oh, she crazy.
I know it's not in sync, but she's rapping right now. Let her rap. Let her rap. Let her rap. Yo, Tommy, what's good? Welcome in, brother. Welcome in.
Crazy. Oh, she hallucinating. Oh, she do. No, baby, that's your gift. And if you don't hone it in and you don't take it seriously and you don't nurture yourself, you will feel like you are going crazy. Is having ADHD a gift? Yes, it is. You have hyper awareness that you are not able to focus in on because you are seeing and feeling too many things at one time. Autism is a gift. Bipolar disorder is a gift. Somebody said, are you sure? Yes. Only if you're whole and healed, right? A gift can feel like a curse. If you were told that you have eternal life, that you do not die, some people will make that a hell. When their whole life, what they've been afraid of is death. And then the moment that they learn they can't die, all of a sudden they're afraid to live forever. They start making it a prison. That's because you're not grounded within yourself. When you're talking about bipolar, you're talking about mania. You are talking about someone who is experiencing split auras within their vessel, right? Almost like being double-minded or double-spirited. You have immense creativity within you because you're able to exist.
Can you tell me what is...
Yeah, we needed the full clip with that one because she's rapping. Come on.
Actually hidden in Antarctica that they don't want us to see, please?
All right, Stacey, let's go there. What's hidden in Antarctica isn't just snow and ice. It's memory, technology, truth, frozen not just in temperature but in time. Beneath the surface are structures, some ancient, some not built by humans at all. Massive geometric constructs, crystalline grids, and buried entry points that lead to a network of underground chambers. Some are remnants of pre-flood civilizations long before our recorded history. Others, they're extraterrestrial in origin, or intraterrestrial, depending on how you define life forms connected to Earth's deeper layers. Governments have set up research bases there, yes, but not just for climate studies, those no-fly zones. They're not about wildlife preservation. They're about containment. Because what's down there contradicts the narrative we've been taught. There are beings in stasis, frozen but not dead. Some humanoid, some not. DNA they can't explain. Energy signatures that don't behave like anything we've seen. And symbols etched into walls and tech that match ancient languages found in Egypt, Sumer, and South America. The reason they keep it hidden? Because if humanity knew what was really under Antarctica, we'd start asking the right questions. And the illusion of our history, the one that keeps people small and obedient, would collapse. And they're not ready for that. But we want to post this word
to talk to my own people.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. I don't know if y'all heard that, but she said it's crystal grids. Crystal grids. That means there's the crystal realm, you know, part of the crystal realm still exists. It's crystal cities, crystal grids. It's frozen underneath Antarctica. Did I be listening to the slight details? So obviously we can't go there because we will be instantly activated, maybe, right? What they said, we'll start asking all the right questions and disobedience will crumble. I mean, disobedience will crumble. We will no longer be obedient, but become disobedient to societal norms and governmental ways. Come on, bro. Like, it's all there, bro. It's all there. Why they don't want us there? Because we'll instantly activate. Instantly get all our memories. Instantly feel. Instantly remember. And then what? They're afraid. Just imagine a nation, a whole civilization fully in their power, where these beings will be outnumbered by a force so strong that they literally become more helpless than the people, the masses are currently right now. When I say, you know, like how it feels almost how like the masses, the public is helpless to being under control and things like that. So just imagine if the masses, the public was fully in their power, then the 1% will feel even more helpless than what the masses is currently. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but yeah, let's keep going. We don't got to sound politically correct because you know.
I'm here to tell you it's time to decolonize your mind. You've taken up too many of the other people's ways and it's thrown you off track. First, let me tell you, every day is Thanksgiving Day. Starting with, I woke up this morning, thank you. The whole purpose of life is to be in a constant state of thanksgiving. I know that a lot of our young people are confused and angry and discouraged, and we feel for you, we hurt for you. A lot of that has to do with the situation in the world today, but you're also being doubly taxed by intergenerational trauma. Trauma that happened to your ancestors is passed in the DNA, and you feel it too. We've always been loving people, generous people, and that's the way the Creator meant us to be. I know a lot of our people are Christians. We've always been brought up to have respect for the Christians because that's how our particular tribe survived the colonial wars, because they had what they called the pray or die policy on us. That meant if you didn't become a Christian, you would get wiped out. Our tribe said, okay, we'll be Christian.
What type of trauma and brute force? That's some brute force right there. You heard what she said? They had the pray or die policy, where if you don't become a Christian, your entire tribe will be wiped out. You know how maniacal in the mind you gotta be to really enforce that? Yo, if you don't believe what I believe, we gonna wipe y'all out. You hear how that sounds bugged out? Like, do you hear that? Come on, bro. Let's make it make sense, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Christians. We've always been brought up to have respect for the Christians because that's how our particular tribe survived the colonial wars, because they had what they called the pray or die policy on us. That meant if you didn't become a Christian, you would get wiped out.
Come on, bro.
Our tribe said, okay, we'll be Christians. We went to their church, but we still did traditional things in the woods where they couldn't see it. And over the years, some of us have come to question some of the Christian ways. We're going to love you back into the circle, and you'll be happier.
This is possibly the most...
She sounded like she was about to start break down crying and all that, just remembering the pain and trauma and suffering that the people went through. That's crazy, bro.
Disturbing thing about Pope Francis's passing, and not many people are talking about it. So as we know, the Vatican has miles and miles of underground, secret, forbidden access library, okay? Tons and tons of information from all around the world sitting underneath these cobblestones. Well, according to many, there was a book called The Prophecy of the Popes that was found in the Vatican archive. Now, not only did this allegedly predict every single pope since 1143, including Pope Francis, but the scary thing is that after Pope Francis, it says Judgment Day. Now, that would not be such a big deal. Many people have called Judgment Day here and there. But in St. Paul's Basilica, there's all these slots on the ceiling for pictures of popes. After Pope Francis, there's only one spot left. Which is making many people wonder what's going on when one of the other predictions was that 422 years after the middle pope, which is 1585, would be the end of the world or Judgment Day, and that takes us to 2027. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't help but think this is a bit suspicious that Klaus Schwab steps down from the World Economic Forum within the same 24 hours that the Pope passes away. It seems like something seriously sinister is going on here, but we're not going to be able to fully express ourselves freely on an Instagram video. If you want the secret details of what is going on behind the scenes, comment secret below and I'll send you a DM.
If they don't want to understand...
You see how they be leaving cliffhangers? That's what I don't like about the content creators. If you're going to be a content creator and expose the truth, just expose the truth. Because, like, there's something we got to be... It's got to be a point where we say, you know what? Forget being silenced, suppressed. Forget being silenced and suppressed. You know, due to these guidelines and all of this, like, you do these guidelines to suppress and shut people up. But when do we come to a point where we just don't care and we want to expose the 100% truth so that the people can rise and wake up? Don't get me started. Let's keep going.
In the spiritual war that we are in, let them sleep, bro. You do not want to waste your energy on lost souls who do not understand or want to know about the illusions that are being placed on reality. You gotta understand that some of these people is real literal bots that don't have the perceptual capability to understand reality outside of this physical realm. They don't know that all of this is comprised of frequencies and energy being formed in the physical matter. And that's why the physical only matters to them. They're only focused on these political issues. They're only focused on these tariffs. They're only focused on the governments and how they're affecting us, quote unquote. But they don't understand that all of this is energy. And the more you give energy into these entities, the more control they have over you. When your third eye is activated, it's not some hallucinogenic psychedelic experience. You're going to be able to see reality for what it is, and you understand the truth from fiction. And that's why you don't believe that people went to space, especially a celebrity like Katy Perry, who has no literal degrees or any type of credentials to be considered an astronaut. And these NPCs will try to tell you different and have you questioning your own abilities and intuition. And you got to understand that that is their job, because they are placed here to lead you off your path as a chosen one, because they were never meant to awaken from the jump.
Check this out. This so-called black goo. Will Smith's son Jaden consuming the same black substance that we have already seen other pseudo-stars use. This is called black goo, and it is used to channel lower astral energies. And he's down in that thing, just chugging.
I don't want to eat candy, but the parasites in me want the candy. I don't want to drink liquor. I don't like liquor, but the parasite, the demon in me, it wants the liquor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. There's a bunch of sirens and stuff outside. I don't know what's happening out there, but it can't be confirmation for something we're talking about. It can't be confirmation for something that me or any of you are going through. There's a bunch of sirens going on outside. We know the universe and reality speaks to us in many different ways because it uses the universal language, which is frequency and energy, and it doesn't have a voice. So, yeah, it can mean anything. Pay attention.
I don't want to eat candy, but the parasites in me want the candy. I don't want to drink liquor. I don't like liquor, but the parasite, the demon in me, it wants the liquor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
But I have actually seen illness caused by your guidelines. As people have already mentioned, the vast majority of people of color in this country are intolerant of the lactose that's in milk. Yet, because they think they have to eat this stuff, they go out, eat it, get sick, and think that they have some sort of intestinal problem. But in fact, when I encourage them to stop eating dairy, their problem's cleared up. And so it's really outrageous to encourage people to eat foods we know will make them sick, particularly when the number one reason it bans for dairy foods is its calcium content. But African American women are genetically protected against getting osteoporosis, so we're making them sick for no good reason. People who trash carbs left, right, and center here and never mention glycemic index. Whole food carbs that have their fiber are
This is probably copywritten, man.
excellent. The ones that have their fiber removed, those are the problems. It's not carbs, it's the processed carbs. And lastly, there is no scientific or nutritional reason for people to be consuming dairy products. We have no more reason to suck on the teats of a cow than we have to suck on the breast of a postpartum weasel. And we've already talked about the hormone content that creates excess disease, such as prostate cancer, breast cancer. I tell people, as far
This music is crazy, bro. I know this is copywritten, bro. I ain't even realized, like I told you, I don't watch the full clip. So I ain't even know this had music.
as the nutrients contained in dairy foods, eating dairy products for the nutrients is equivalent to inhaling cigarette smoke for its oxygen content. It's not a good idea. So I want to encourage you, get the racism out, get the dairy out. Please do your...
Wow. Did you hear that? Consuming dairy is equivalent to smoking a cigarette and getting the oxygen contents out of it. It's a no-brainer. Wow. Did you hear that? Wow, look at this. Woman says she's trying to figure out what she got from her baby daddy after her lips started looking like this. Man.
I don't care what anybody says. That is disgusting. I'm sorry, y'all. That is gross. That literally made my skin crawl. You cannot convince me that cheating is okay and it's normal. I'm telling you right now, I would prefer somebody to just let me know, Taylor, you're not my cup of tea. I'm not feeling this no more. By all means, have at it. Have fun. Go ahead and do what you got to do. I'd much rather get dumped in the worst way than somebody to stay with me, bump and grind with everybody in this world, and then I'm the one to suffer with bubbles all over my lips, all over my starburst. Oh my... I promise you, I would be on first 48. I'm not joking, y'all. I really think that if I woke up and my lips were like, no more chapstick, it's a bumpy ride on them lips. Oh my God, y'all.
Come on, man. Why she being funny? Yo, what's good, Eric? What's good, brother? What's good? Welcome in. I hope you enjoy having a wonderful, magnificent rotation and a wonderful, magnificent move, man. Welcome in.
I'm not even exaggerating. I don't think I could do it. One thing about me is I really love my face. I really love how clear my skin is. I don't even break out. I would die if I even seen a little... I've never even had a breakout on my lips before. Guys, I've never even had a cold sore on my lips. How does that even... Oh, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is making me really sick. I'm so sorry. I couldn't do it. Anybody who cheats, I'm sorry. There should be harsh laws against cheating. It should be prison mandatory because we suffer if we get cheated on and this happens to us. Oh my God. And how are you even bumping and grinding when you got oh God, I'm sick. That's enough question.
That's not what's up, bro. Like, just think about it, bro. And I'm not even saying this to say I condone in it, because I don't. You know, once you find your divine empress or your divine emperor, you just, you know, you rock out, and that's it, man. Anyhow, what sense does it make to have your divine empress at home, but then you out there, let's use her terminology, bumping and grinding with a bunch of concubines and all of this and all of that while you out there in the world, then come back home and bring some parasites back home to your divine empress? That's like the worst. That's like low down. And you know how embarrassing that is for your divine empress to even go through that? Like, how humiliating it is. That's foul play all the way, all around 360 foul play. That's why.
Movie Center showed us that music in cymatic resonance has the ability of opening portals and dimensional wormholes. It showed that the past, present, and future timelines are all connected through harmony and resonance. The vampiric entities knew the power of frequency. This is why they wanted to convert Sammy to a vampiric entity. That way his voice, his singing, his harmonic resonance would have the ability of actually opening more dimensional wormholes and portals. They knew that Sammy's soul and electromagnetic energy would be the perfect catalyst and conduit to harness energy. Even in the hieroglyphs in ancient Kemet, you could see them utilizing music as a conduit to access higher spiritual planes. Now the world leaders and beings that have control of this realm thoroughly understand the science of cymatics and the power of music and frequency. This is why there's so much low frequency music recorded on a consistent basis, because they understand the power of vibration and resonance. Listen to what he said.
I wasn't on stages like this. I was on rap stages rapping about, you know, violence and guns. You know, that we get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff. So I make sure I even align and come talk on stages like this.
Now the same thing that the leader of the vampires actually did with Sammy in regards to wanting to utilize his avatar as a conduit to open up portals to harness more archonic vampiric forces through. It's the same thing that these record labels and executives actually want to do to us. They want to use our voice. They want to use our pain. They want to use our struggle to actually open up these portals for archonic forces to make entry. Now, if you pay attention to the movie, you will notice that before the vampires came, that when they were dancing and when they were playing music, they were opening up multiple portals and dimensional wormholes all simultaneously. They had a lot of ashe in that room. Now, if you notice in the movie, when they were converting them to vampiric entities, the vampires would actually begin to dance and sing. All right, they would no longer sing and dance to the rhythm that they previously sang and danced to. They would now completely have a different harmonic resonance. This is the same thing the world leaders would like to do to us. They would like to convert our harmony and our resonance to actually ensure that we're now moving to their vampiric frequency. And they also showed you that the divine feminine will eradicate this vampiric system. This is the personification of the rise of the matriarch. Annie was like the hoodoo priestess. Her lighting this yellow candle is the embodiment of Oshun energy, or the love frequency. If you pay attention to the movie, the divine feminine, the grand matriarch, was the only one that actually knew how to eradicate these vampiric entities. She was the one that knew that they wasn't haints or boohags. She understood that they were vampiric forces that actually needed certain ways to be exterminated. She was actually my favorite character in a movie. She was very resilient. And she even told her man that if the vampires happened to convert her by chance and get a hold to her, that she want him to take her out. All right, she don't want to give them the pleasure of actually having her soul. And when the vampires did end up getting a hold to Annie, at that particular point in time, he had to immediately learn the art of detachment. Annie made him aware that life doesn't stop after you transition in a physical body. This is because energy doesn't die, it only recycles. My opinion, this movie was 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out.
Did you hear about the 2 statues that were discovered last week in Antarctica? I mean, look at these guys. They are massive. Look how long that is. It's just humongous. They were discovered by 3 friend enthusiasts who are kayakers. They heard of...
You see this? This was discovered in Antarctica. Hold on now.
I mean, look at these guys.
My opinion, this movie was 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out.
Did you hear about the 2 statues that were discovered last week in Antarctica? I mean, look at these guys. They are massive. Look how long that is. It's just humongous. They were discovered by 3 friend enthusiasts who are kayakers. They heard about how all the snow capsules are melting in Antarctica, and it opened up a new river, and they wanted to be the first to kayak down it. You can see how big that foot is next to their kayaks. And they said as they were going down the river, these 2 statues came into view, and they must have been covered for centuries under the snow. Luckily, one of them, Chris Smith, was a drone operator. He used to fly drones as a hobby in Afghanistan, so he whipped out his drone and got these close-ups to send to the scientific community. And scientists are saying, who built these? The ancient Romans, an ancient civilization? The crazy thing is when the friends got past the statue, they said what they saw, they're too terrified to speak of. They can't even get out of them. So Dr. Remy Demi went down there, and you won't believe what he's saying is behind these statues. I'll post it in part 2.
There they go with that. Check this out, though. We're going to pull it up. Check this out. You know what that remind me of, right? Because they show us everything all the time on the screen. Watch this. I had to make sure earlier I found it. Look. Wow. Does it not look familiar? We've seen it somewhere. Naruto Final Valley. Wow. Do you see this? Looks familiar, right? Looks inspired from the same thing, as if they knew about it before we did. Wow. Hold on, let's open this up. Open image in the new tab. Come on, bro. Hold on. Let's get a different photo, because it's like, why deny these things when they right there in your face? This looked like it was inspired from such. Does it not? I'm just saying, Haven. Does it not look like this was inspired from that? Like they knew about it before we did. 2 ancients with giant statues, and you got to go past this to get to a certain place in the show. Bro. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun, Tommy. Nothing new under the sun, Corey. It's crazy. Let's get back to it, though. Amazing. Let's go back.
The scientific community, and scientists are saying, who built these? The ancient Romans, an ancient civilization? The crazy thing is when the friends got past the statue, they said what they saw, they're too terrified to speak of. They can't even get out of them. So Dr. Remy Demi went down there, and you won't believe what he's saying is behind these statues. I'll post it in part 2.
Come on, bro.
Y'all know the Book of Mormon pretty well? I mean, I'm not a scriptorian, but I know it pretty well. I've heard a story or two. What does the Book of Mormon say about how black people get dark skin?
I once did a video on Mormons before, and let me do it again. So, a very important thing to remember is the Mormon church right now is the wealthiest church in the world. They are richer now than the Vatican. 1. 2, this is the core of their belief. Back in the heavenly times, before there was earth, it was just heaven and hell. There was a war in the heavens between God and the devil. God had angels on his side. The devil had demons on his side. And then there were humans. Humans then split into 3. One group of humans chose to help God. The second group of humans chose to sit on the fence. They didn't help anyone. They decided not to do anything. The third group of humans chose to help the devil. When God won the war, he now sent the devil to hell. He now sent demons to hell. But humans, he sent us all to earth. But he chose to differentiate us by how we chose to fight in the heavens. White people are the descendants of the people who chose to help God. So that's why they're white. Black people are the descendants of the people who chose to help the devil. That's why we're black. Every other race are the people who chose to sit in the middle, who chose to do nothing. That's why they're in the middle. Now, it's very important to remember there's a school called BYU. BYU is the main hub of recruiting for the CIA and the FBI. BYU is a Mormon school. The FBI and the CIA and a lot of our police forces in the United States of America.
I gotta go back a second. Hold on. I gotta go back a little bit. My apologies if you was really into that.
So that's why they're white. Black people are the descendants of the people who chose to help the devil. That's why we're black. Every other race are the people who chose to sit in the middle, who chose to do nothing. That's why they're in the middle. Now, it's very important to remember there's a school called BYU. BYU is the main hub of recruiting for the CIA and the FBI. BYU is a Mormon school. The FBI and the CIA and a lot of our police forces in the United States of America, more than half of them are Mormons. So, our militarized institutions in the United States are made up of men and women who genuinely believe from the bottom of their hearts that black people are descendants of people who helped the devil. And it is their job. By the way, not just being black, we are meant to suffer on earth. That's our punishment for helping the devil. So, that is one of the reasons why the CIA constantly kills every African leader who tries to do something good, because the people who do this in the CIA are Mormons who genuinely believe that they are doing a spiritual work that they will get a reward for in heaven. They believe Africans are meant to suffer because Africans are descendants of people who helped the devil. Black people in America, when we're constantly getting killed left and right, the FBI, that's the reason why the FBI saw the Black Panther as the biggest threat to its existence, but not the KKK. The KKK they see them as a religious group. They're a religious group who don't work for the system, who have taken it upon themselves to do the work of the Lord, to keep the blacks in check. Remember, black people, they believe that it is our punishment to suffer on earth. So any black person who advances, who starts to do good, you are going against God. So the Mormons, the people who control the FBI, the CIA, the people who control the United States of America, they see it as their spiritual duty to keep black people punished in constant punishment on earth. Any black person who goes against that is going against God. Remember that. So every time you see a Mormon, you need to know how a Mormon looks at you. By the way, all you Africans in Africa, the Church of Latter-day Saints, yeah. So in the 70s, the Latter-day Saints decided that you can be redeemed. So they that's why they send missionaries to go redeem you. But see, there's a level of heaven you will never enter because you're still black. But you can be redeemed even though your family, you're descendants of the people who helped the devil. So now you understand where you stand. Now you understand law enforcement. Now you understand the CIA in Africa. Now you understand the FBI going after black liberation. For them, it is literally a spiritual thing. Like it's religious.
I don't know. That don't sound too right for me right there. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. That don't sound righteous to me right there, because if we was made in the Most High's image and the Most High looked like us, how is the melanated community the ones who chose to work with darkness or the devil? It just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't sound accurate to me. In my registry up here, it just doesn't. It don't sound accurate. I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Who owns OnlyFans?
Who funds it?
A rabbi.
Yeah.
Who then takes the portion of money that they get. I think they get about 1/3 of the girls' money, and they use it to fund Israel. So you're literally turning women into whores and using the money they make, whoring themselves out to commit genocide. I mean, I don't know anything that's more evil than that. That is diabolical. That is some Dr. Evil shit.
Touch it. Nobody wants to
Why?
touch it. Scared cowards.
Why would they be scared?
Well, there is a legitimate reason why they would be scared. They
don't want to
be president. So, yeah.
because of the level of power. That's why. If there was no power, I mean, that's why when people say we live in a system of white supremacy, I'm like, if that was true, you wouldn't be able to open your mouth about white people.
Right. You can't open your mouth about Jewish.
Well, there you go. I think Dan Bilzerian's on about this. We live in a system of Jewish supremacy. Yeah. And I agree with him. I'm not about supremacy. Like, if you really want to believe in God and in the value of every human life, then there is no such thing as supremacy.
Right.
But I also don't think that means that we have to let in every fucking third world mongrel that wants to come in here and has no respect, can't even conceptualize what we built here.
Right.
And then wants to tell us how we're pieces of shit for having it. Then I'm like, then why the fuck are you here?
The truth about JFK, because Ben Shapiro is infatuated.
That happened 45 years ago. Why should we care?
You're right. That's what Ben Shapiro says.
65 years
so
ago.
why the hell are we still talking about the Holocaust?
Hey. Stop being anti-Semitic.
It was popular on the left, and now it's become increasingly popular on the right. The kind of, let's just ask questions. We'll ask, who really killed JFK? Wink, wink, nod, nod. And then you're like, well, do you have any evidence of the thing that you are presupposing? Well, no,
yes.
I'm not making any accusations. I just know I don't believe the story that I'm being told. I know not to trust the authorities. Like, well, that's fine, but do you have like any evidence? Like evidence, not just supposition. I said, well, you're part of it, aren't you? You're part of it. The reason that you're so defensive about all this is, I don't care who killed JFK. I mean, I do, because it's really interesting, but I noticed the calendar says 2025, and he was killed in 1963. And so my opinion about who killed JFK has about as much relevance as who killed William McKinley, or James Garfield, which is to say, not.
It has about as much relevance as how many people died in the Holocaust.
Right. His eyebrows is diabolical.
I was about to say, did he paint those on?
Yeah,
he looks like a cartoon character.
Yo, shut up.
That is.
Yeah, I told you, man, they might not like this presentation. This is too raw and uncut for the people in the back that's pulling the strings of this system. But we're going to push through anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're going to push for the best. Let's get it.
These people can't comprehend that because you love yourself, you're going to show up no matter what, no matter how you feel energetically, no matter how things are going in life. You are always going to be present because your God body is existing within your soul. People see failure as an excuse to give up. They see failure as their reason out onto why they don't have to pursue that endeavor anymore. You see failure as an opportunity to elevate and understand and have a better understanding on why you failed to come back harder than ever. That's the difference between a person in their God body energy and a low vibrational person. That low vibrational person isn't demonic or evil at all. It's just the fact that they don't strive for higher energies and submit to these low vibrational energies and exist within that space. That love that you have for self, that connection that you have within your heart center is because you are able to give yourself grace and understanding in your shortcomings. And you know that your shortcomings are only ways for you to elevate and become a better, higher conscious being.
This might. Bro, I'm sorry, but the panic is just so funny, bro. The panic is funny because he ain't waste no time drinking that serum from the tree after realizing it gives life and heals him, but now he's panicking.
Being on a spiritual journey is learning that you are the powerful being. This whole journey is trying to wake you up to show you how powerful you are. All the magic is within you.
I gotta urinate. I'll be
It's not
back,
outside of you. Like, this is why religion is a trap, because it teaches you that you have to pray and wait for a Jesus to come down and save you, to take you to the pearly gates of heaven. It's not going to happen. You have heaven within you. You have darkness within you. We have light and darkness within us. Everything is within. Everything. Being on a spiritual journey is literally just having the awareness that all along you have been the powerful being. You have God within you. God, you are God. You like, that is what. But then Christians will hear that and they're like, "Oh no, I'm not God. No, there's only one God. There's only Jesus." Like, that's the Bible was teaching the whole time. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It literally tells you in the Bible. You need to start realizing this, because you can't really be on a spiritual journey but focusing on things outside of yourself, if you know what I mean. It's either one or the other, you know what I mean?
It's just been announced that 8 artificial petroleum-based food dyes will be discontinued and no longer used in the U.S. food supply or medications. This statement was actually released from the U.S. Health Secretary named Robert F. Kennedy, all right? And this is said to be completed by the end of 2026. This includes those dyes found in ice cream, soft drinks, various jams, as well as candy. Now, it's also been stated that the Food and Drug Administration is eliminating the remaining 6 dyes, specifically Red 40. This is typically found in things like Takis, your Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Skittles, and other horrible snacks. They're also discontinuing Yellow 5, Yellow 6, Blue 1, Blue 2, and Green 2, all right? Now, these dyes have been confirmed to cause cancer. Red 3 causes cancer in animals, and Red 40, Yellow 5, and Yellow 6 has been reported to contain a toxic chemical called benzodiazepine, as well as other carcinogenic toxins. Now, this is actually great news and a step in the right direction, Cosmic Family. According to various resources, the FDA is now encouraging the use of natural color additives, all right, just like the other countries have been practicing for years, as opposed to the artificial dyes designed with nefarious contaminants. So basically, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, has been shaken up, all right? Something occurred that completely shifted their mode of operation, in my opinion. So now the FDA is closely working with the food industry to establish a timeline and transition to natural alternatives. This is actually wonderful news and a great sign that we are moving towards the timeline we most desire, Cosmic Family. All right. Now, this is also confirmation that there was a shift in power somewhere, and the FDA making this sudden change for the better shows that the beings that wholeheartedly focused on unaliving us this whole time and eradicating our existence is now losing their grip on our reality. My advice is to keep refining yourself, continue grounding, fasting, sun gazing, and plugging in with nature. Continue exercising, stretching, and remaining young, youthful, and vibrant. It's important to know that your body is the temple of God, all right? And literally the most complex technology in existence. For decades now, they have poisoned us and purposely lowered our frequency through horizontal gene transfer, all right? So it's important we do a parasite cleanse and use chlorophyll to detox our bodies of all toxins, microplastics, as well as unhealthy contaminants. The parasite cleanse that I have available on Holistic Remedies is composed of sweet wormwood, black walnut, and whole cloves, which are the 3 components required to not only kill parasites, but also eradicate their eggs. Parasites have the ability of controlling your thoughts and neural responses, and typically are responsible for most of your food cravings. By removing the parasitic invaders, it makes it a lot easier to follow a more disciplined diet, eliminating your desire for snacking. For all high-quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.
All right, so look, boom, boom, boom. Check it out, check it out, check it out. So y'all remember when Queen Elizabeth had passed away? She represents the governmental control over your mental brain. She ruled Great Britain. Who you think helped conquer us? We speak English for a reason. So when she left this physical matrix, guess what? That was a representation of our mental brain being free from the governmental control. That represents the end of the government, because we are up under a world government. There's not multiple governments. No, there's one government that's running the whole entire world. And she represented the death to that. Now guess who just passed away recently? Like today or yesterday type shit. The Pope. Can you guess what he represents to you? He represents who you choose to worship God-wise. He's the head of the church. Guess what? That's a Catholic Christian church. You know why? Because that shit rules the fucking world. He was the great sorcerer of this realm. Check it out. Frankenstein. The Pope was Frankenstein's monster. Remember how everybody thought that Frankenstein was the name of the monster? But it's actually the name of the creator of the monster? Yakub, the devil, the demon urge, whatever you want to call the nigga, created this nigga in an image of himself. He was incomplete, imperfect, and ignorant. So his creation is going to be the same thing. He can only put inside the creation what he knows. They ruled through lying, stealing, and murder. He died around Easter. What does that mean? That means the death to the old system and the rebirth to the new system. The story of Jesus has been played over and over and over and over and over again. We were stuck in a loop. And now we're out of that loop. Do you know how we're out of that loop? Guess what age he died at? 88. What is 88? Flip the 8 on the side. Guess what it is? An infinity loop. The spell is broken. No more worshiping false idols. No more worshiping anything outside of yourself. No more worshiping, lying, stealing, killing people. Everything's connected, physical, mental, and spiritual. So whatever happened in the physical realm is happening on the mental realm. Whatever's happening in the mental realm is happening on the spiritual realm. So you got to look at all these things and then piece them together to make a whole entire big-ass puzzle. These are puzzle pieces we got to put together. We back in control, man. The original ones are here. Know your power. Feel the energy, man. Be powerful. I love y'all.
That is all about slavery. And even look at the dates on which it was signed. It was right at that era, right after the Civil War. And if you look at it that way, the case is an easy case to win. And I hope the lawyers talk about birthright, citizenship, and slavery, because that's what it was all about. And it was a very positive, it was meant to be positive. And
I already know the lawyers ain't gonna talk about it, but I'm about to break this all the way down. It's about to get deep. We're about to time travel back to the American Revolution. Fought in 1775 through 1783, where 13 British colonies in North America broke free from British rule and established the United States of America. How does that even make sense? First, you have to wonder, why is there British colonies in America? Second, why would they fight against their own kind for taxes? It's almost just like the tariff wars today. As y'all see, it's getting exposed. So they was in America attacking Americans, not the British people. They wanted to take it over. Why do you think the Queen had possession of it? At least in their books. Those 13 colonies is the same 13 families most people call the elites. The same ones that represent the 13 stars on the forehead of God El. That is the 6-point star that doubles as the Seal of Solomon and the Star of David. As y'all can see, they maintain control until today, 2025. And yes, grays exist and plenty of other beings, but that's a whole nother video. So after the 5 years of war, they're not going to mention the 13 colonies settled. They took it upon themselves to declare their first president, George Washington, in 1789. He was elected with no opposition. And notice he led the army in the American Revolution I just talked about. Think about it. Now ask yourself, how is he elected if he's a foreigner in America? Just imagine he got all those votes from those 13 colonies, not the American people. This is why he had no opposition. We didn't even know. And how they're still manipulating things today from the shadows. Now the Civil War Trump was talking about between the United States of America and the Confederate States of America over disagreements about slavery. Now keep in mind, the United States of America has been infiltrated already. So technically they are on both sides of this war. Just in case you don't know what Confederate means, a person one works with, especially in something secret or illegal, an accomplice, joined by agreement or treaty. As I mentioned before, they started making their own votes for their own president. So 3 years after the Civil War, they established birthright citizenship through the 14th Amendment in 1868. So to keep it simple, anyone from any country can come here to America and have a baby here, and all of a sudden their baby is American without going through the whole process of being a citizen. And of course, they can fast forward the citizenship process with anyone else they feel like it, especially back in the day. So now, 2 years later, in 1870, they prohibited denying the right to vote based on race. And if I look down to the 15th Amendment, it said they granted African American men the right to vote by prohibiting denial of suffrage based on race and color and previous condition of servitude. Now, if you go back up, it specifically say the Black Americans could not vote until 1965, bro, and still had to deal with literacy tests, poll taxes, grandfather clauses, intimidation, and violence, just like today in 2025. There is a reason why they currently say Black or African American on all these applications, because they know we are different and we are the original people of this land. So basically, this states that all the races was able to vote besides Black people, but then they later specify what Black people is able to vote, and that will be the African Americans, which is the people that actually came from Africa, because technically they are foreigners also. So now it's about to get a little deeper. So in the midst of while all this is happening, they started building an electrical grid around Earth in order to lower our frequency, cooking us and depleting our brain functions. We are electrical beings, so this affects our aura. So the first one is reported to be erected in 1844. This all ties in how they slowly got us to stop fighting for our freedom, because they started messing with our minds and was able to brainwash us. So we're gonna skip to World War I, when they finally placed all their poles across the world. So this happened in 1914 to 1918. Keep that in mind. Since we were brainwashed and we forgot who the enemy was and forgot who we were, we ended up fighting for the enemy. As we all know and heard the stories, the black people was basically sacrificed. And there's even stories of the people they was going against, saving them, telling them that they are the prisoners. So after this war, in order for the soldiers to go home, they all had to stand in line to take that potion. The same thing they still do today in 2025. So when they all returned home, they were activated by the poles. Because we're just now waking up to the fact of things like nanotechnology, gene alterations, etc. They've been doing this. We're just now catching up and waking up to the fact that it's been happening for hundreds of years, bruh. And it's exactly what they talk about in the Bible. But anyways, guess what happened after they were activated? The Spanish flu from 1918 to 1920, offing tens of millions of people. This was a bio attack. Now, for everyone that survived this, they had to find a way to coerce them to take potions, since they wasn't forced like the ones that was already in the military that started this whole thing to begin with. So they started covert biochemical attacks with different weapons and take a wild guess what it could be. Chickenpox, and as y'all can see, they say European settlers and explorers brought it here to the Americas. It's a bioweapon because you can clearly see it affects the skin first to destroy your immune system to get inside your body to obviously off you. So since people can physically see it, that will scare them to get potions. So when people see things like this and they get that potion, it kind of causes the reverse effects of things like this. It'll start to damage the inside before it starts to show on the out, making it covert and almost no one to blame. Now I want y'all to look on the very bottom. The World Health Organization eradicated this back in 1980. Now I want y'all to notice how the World Health Organization declared HIV a pandemic in 1981, just a year later. They got people believing it came from quote unquote gay people. I mean, that don't even make sense. But being a side effect or intentional effect of those potions makes way more sense than that BS they've been telling us our whole lives. I mean, look at the timing. That's not coincidental at all. So since they figured out how to alter their immune system, now their next step is to insert those chemical weapons in as gene expressions and now attacking your body in order for you to react to the generational towers. 1G 1987, 1991, 2G 1991, 2001, 3G 2001, 2009, 4G 2010, 2019, 5G 2019 till now. And we all seen how important it was to them to put up those towers. I mean, all around the world. They literally put everyone on lockdown. I mean, I know we all came out and thought we was tripping when the landscape just looked completely different because of those towers they just put up everywhere that wasn't there before. I mean, just think about these poles started like this, mad wires everywhere. Nowadays, no wires. They even got the nerve to try to disguise them for the sleeping people, at least. Right. So if we're electrical beings, how is this not affecting us at all? It is. We all are being microwaved 24/7 unless you're underground, deep in the country, or you still got lead in your paint. We've been in a war for a long time and they already know the ending. I already know the ending. Trump already knows the ending. They can't stop the guys forever.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. So let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody even, not even close.
So in this documented war against the United States of America, found over 25 years ago, made by these agencies that's working on this plan, which ironically is the same agencies that lost their power and also got defunded recently. But this document literally gives us the blueprint of everything that did happen in the past 20 plus years in order, literally. Exploit CNN syndrome. This is a serious side war that causes collateral damage and exploitation. Things we see such as black on black crime or black women versus black men These type psyops is extremely damaging to our own communities. Capture and torture Americans in living color on prime time. We all see these shows on TV like Cops. It got so bad to almost every department got their own little social media showing videos and just getting clout off them doing all kinds of BS, bro. What should be private matters. And of course, we all know who they target the most. The black people. For all these reasons I've been naming throughout this whole video, because they know who we really are. As y'all can see, terrorist attacks, binary bio, as I mentioned earlier, with those things that affect the skin, that's how you know it didn't come from the inside, it came from the out. RF against the brain, radio frequencies. These are more ways they're silently attacking us. And notice how the way they got in quotations, those towers they just put up when they locked us down. Now, over 25 years ago, this is exactly where they expect us to be at in 2025. Look around, you would never thought that would have happened back in the 90s, but hey, it looks almost like what they said. Now they expect to go on the defense in 2025 because of approaches from who knows what, but we all know who. Notice they say in and out of theater because we are in the movie. Also, it mentions survivability and effectiveness of U.S. forces on or near the killing grounds. I wonder where that's going to be at. Think about it. Now, this is the most important one. And if they was right about everything else throughout all these years, why would they lie about this? They want to become the only human strike force. And they will be dealing with increasingly capable. Many people will be waking up to more and more powers. Now notice where it says bio, that means biological. Now the WMD means weapons of mass destruction. They're literally saying those biological weapons of mass destruction, meaning whole entities. They are describing in all caps individuals and groups that has horrific and destructive power. And they are difficult to deal with because they are omnipresent with no exploits. They are talking about the gods waking up and the allies. This is their challenge they've been expecting to face in 2025, well over 25 years ago. We're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes, but the physical war has already started. So once this power grid is cut, our energy will be returned. Also, all the covert attacks will stop. It's over for them. I said all that to say this. They started wars on our lands, then brainwashed us with frequency weapons, then infiltrated our communities and government to oppress us because they know we don't remember. Then they brought all their homies from their home countries and then gave them our identity and forced us to take theirs. This is why the overall collective of black people lives is so much harder on their own land versus everyone else that comes on this land from somewhere else. Not only that, they think we're...
That's something I've always talked about. It seems like foreigners come over here and they got it good. Most foreigners come over here and be good. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
We're the most laziest and incompetent people on this planet for some reason. But I also know they get trained to think that way. But it's up to them to wake up and think for themselves. That's the whole point of the spiritual battle. Because when it comes to black people, we literally have to sell our soul to make it to any kind of high level. Rather that be in the military, fraternities, sororities, anything you have to pledge to, or get a license because that's basically a pass to do something unlawful. It's all a trap to keep a repetitive cycle of evil and destruction. I hope if you made it this long, you now understand why the quote-unquote black Americans are prisoners of war. And we're in the process of being free. We see everything being reset right now as we speak, all in order to prepare for the new world. I'm gonna attach a clip at the end of this video. I showed it to y'all a long time ago, but it should make a lot more sense right now. Anyways, y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Peace.
Graduate and be in that world. And you're gonna be leading the soldiers and the sailors, the airmen and the Marines in that world. You'll be dealing with terrorists. You'll be dealing with hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men. You're going to be dealing with tribes. You'll be dealing with national leaders and local leaders. You'll be dealing with politics and economics. And you'll be dealing with direct fire and indirect fire. And you're going to be dealing with it all. and it's all going to be dealt with simultaneously.
Look at this radio frequency. That's just a speaker. This is just a speaker. EMF. It's red. Check it out. Check it out. The thermostat. Crazy. End of the presentation, Haven. I hope you enjoyed. Man, that clip from the mail guy, man, I like that. That was a long segment right there. The music had me yawning a bunch, but that was a good segment. Yo, listen. It's the end of the presentation. I hope you all in a wonderful, magnificent mood. If you wasn't already, having a wonderful, magnificent rotation. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. And yeah, everything you see on this channel is merely speculation. View discretion is advised. Please do your own homework and research for proper discernment. I'm highly grateful, and thankful for all you guys who been from the beginning, rocking out, liking, commenting, been subscribed, sharing, things of that nature. Pardon. Grace, gratitude, and thanks. I'm highly grateful, and thankful for your energy. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go up. Remember, we watch these clips and videos as a form of escaping the external chaos going on outside of ourselves, as we are all experiencing our own individual reality. If it don't resonate with you, leave it on the ground for someone else to pick it up. It's okay. It's fine if it don't resonate with you. You choose to be here, you don't gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Everyone who has ever sown a seed with me, it will be returned 100-fold as the Most High using you as a divine vessel to divinely support yours truly. It's all about divine support. I just want to say grace, gratitude, and thanks. Peace and prosperity you and yours. Hope you know it never goes unnoticed. Really does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. Thank you so much, honestly. It means a lot. Little do you know, it helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Haven, y'all know what's up. Balance and harmony, love and unity, safe travel in the astrals. I'll see y'all in the next presentation. I'm out. Have a good one. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Corey. Thank all of you guys who came through. Eric McAllister, Kennedy, all of y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. I love y'all, man. I'm out.